When my family first bought the house outside the city, I thought it would be a fresh start. Quiet place. A place where my kids could run in the yard and my wife could breathe without the noise of traffic clawing at her nerves. It sat at the edge of a dense forest, towering pines that seemed to lean in toward the house like they were listening. From the first night, I swore I heard them whispering. At 2:14 a.m., I woke to footsteps in the hallway. Slow, cautious, like someone trying not to be heard. I thought it was my son sleepwalking, so I opened my door. The hallway was empty, but the footsteps kept going right past me. I could feel them move by, a small rush of cold air brushing my arm. During the day, the house seemed normal enough, but things got worse fast. The lights in the kitchen flickered every time my wife walked in, only for her. The bulbs were new, the wiring supposedly fine. My daughter kept complaining about a man she saw through her bedroom window at night. Tall man. We were surrounded by woods. No neighbors for half a mile. The worst moment came a week after moving in. I was in the basement trying to fix a leaky pipe when I found something carved into the cement wall. So faint it almost blended into the cracks. Don't let them see you see them. I don't know why, but reading it made my stomach twist like I had broken some rule I didn't know existed. That same night, I woke to the sound of whispering again, this time inside my room. It was a voice I didn't recognize. Raspy, too close to my ear. I didn't catch the words, but I felt something icy curl around my ankle, like a hand pulling. I jerked awake, gasping. My wife sat straight up too, eyes wide and glassy. "They were at the bed," she whispered. "Who?" I asked. She didn't answer. She just pointed to the foot of the bed. And that's when I saw it. A dark shape, barely visible, melting backward into the darkness as if slipping underwater. I tried to keep it together for the kids' sake, but the house had decided it was done hiding. Doors slammed even when every window was shut. Shadows moved where nothing should cast them. Sometimes I would walk into a room and feel dozens of eyes staring at me, pressing against my skin. One night I found my son standing in the hallway, facing the wall. His nails scraped slowly against the paint. I grabbed him, shook him awake. His voice was shaking. "They don't want us to leave." "We are leaving," I told him. "They already know," he whispered. I'm writing this from our car, parked in a gas station a few towns over. We left everything behind, clothes, furniture, even pictures. We didn't go back for any of it. But just now, as I sit here with the engine running, my daughter asked me a question that froze every part of me. "Daddy, why did the tall man get in the car with us?" She pointed to the back seat. And though I didn't dare look, I felt the seat cushion sink behind me. I didn't look into the back seat. Couldn't. My daughter's voice trembled as she stared behind me, her small hands gripping her seatbelt. "Daddy, he's smiling." My wife turned around before I could stop her. A stifled scream tore from her throat, and she slapped her hand over her mouth. That was all I needed. I hit the gas and tore out of that gas station like the road was on fire. We drove until the sky began to lighten, the world turning gray with dawn. Only then did the air in the car warm back to normal. Only then did the weight in the back seat disappear. When we finally stopped, the parking lot of an old diner off the highway felt like a sanctuary. A sad sanctuary, maybe, but at least the shadows didn't breathe. Inside, we sat in a booth. We didn't touch our food. My wife stared out the window. My kids pressed close to me, silent. No one said a word until my son finally whispered, "Dad, it followed us here." My blood turned to ice. "What did you see?" I asked. He lifted a shaking finger and pointed at the foggy diner window. Outside, through the reflection, I saw something behind our table. Something tall, thin, standing directly behind me. But when I turned around, the space was empty. That's when I realized something horrifying. It wasn't the house that was haunted. It was us. Whatever was in that house wasn't trapped there. It wasn't bound by walls or land or distance. It had chosen us. We returned to the house, not because we wanted to, but because I needed answers. I needed to know why this presence tied itself to my family. The woods seemed darker than before, the pines leaning close as if whispering warnings too late to matter. Inside, the air felt thick, heavy, like stepping into someone else's throat. I went to the basement. The carving on the wall was deeper now, gouged violently into the concrete. Too late to hide. The temperature dropped so fast I could see my breath. Behind me, the tall man's shadow stretched across the floor, growing longer, reaching for my feet. My family was upstairs. I could hear them calling for me. Panicking, I realized the truth. It didn't want the house. It wanted us apart. Alone. Separated. That's how it fed. So I did the only thing I could think of. I stepped backward into the shadow. Not away from it, into it. For a moment everything went silent. No sound. No light. No pain. Just a feeling of falling through something that wasn't entirely there. And then, a whisper, right beside my ear. "I'll take you." I woke on the basement floor. The shadow was gone. The air was warm again. I ran upstairs, heart pounding. My wife and kids were huddled by the doorway, crying when they saw me. They said the moment I disappeared, the house fell completely still. No more shadows. No more footsteps. No more voices. Whatever the thing was, it had wanted me, and once it had me, even for a heartbeat, it left them alone. I didn't tell them what happened. I wasn't sure they would believe me, or maybe I was terrified that they would. We left the house before sunset. This time, the air in the car stayed warm. No one felt watched. We drove until the woods were a memory. It's been 3 months. We're in a small apartment now. Crowded, noisy, imperfect, but safe. Mostly. Except at night. Sometimes I wake up and feel a cold breath on my ear. Sometimes I see a shadow stretch where no light should cast one. Sometimes I hear that raspy whisper in the dark. I'm still here. I traded my family's haunting for my own. And I'd do it again. Because the house beyond the pines never wanted all of us. It only needed one. And it chose me.